What has your state recently done? I mean, something which has caught the imagination of the country.
Romit, you had applied for CDS.
Yes, sir.
So what happened?
You also played cricket, means apart from your volleyball.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you are a secretary, youth affairs and sports.
Yes, sir.
How can you improve that result of the players so that India can win the medal in the Olympic?
May I come in, sir?
Please come, Romit.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
Romit, a brief introduction of yourself.
Sir, my name is Romit Bhatt and I come from a town Nagpur from Uttarakhand, and I have done my graduation in BA Honours History from HDDP Khalsa College, Delhi University, and I have done my post-graduation from IGNOU in History. Simultaneously, I am preparing for the civil service exam, sir.
Not into any job or anything.
No, sir.
Okay. How many colleges are there in Delhi University?
Sir, it is around 70 to 80.
How many in the North Campus?
Sir, North Campus 6 or 7.
No,
The 9,
no.
10, 9, 10. The main North Campus,
Yeah.
that
Maurice Nagar,
HTTP Khalsa College, then comes Miranda,
Stephens, Hindu,
Stephens,
KM,
Ramjas,
Ramjas, Hansraj. All
Yeah.
these you are forgetting?
the
Okay. Now tell me, Romit, what are some of the defining moments in history? 2 in Indian history and 2 in the world history. Defining events.
Sir, in Indian history, the defining moment was the coming of the Britishers in India, which changed the course of Indian history. And second would be the independence of India, which also significantly changed, we see, the Indian history as such. And in the world history, we see the 2 world wars which defined the global order. And finally,
Which years? World War One and World War Two.
So 1914 to 1919, the First World War, and Second World War around 1939 and until 1945, sir.
Okay. So, what were the main lessons from the French Revolution?
So the liberty, equality and fraternity, the 3 ideas of the French Revolution, which inspired not only the France but the entire world, was the key lessons of the French Revolution. And
Can you mention 2 persons of eminence who wrote during the French Revolution, whose writings have inspired?
so historians,
Yeah, or philosophers?
so they were the Rousseau, who inspired the French Revolution, and there was Montesquieu, who called for separation of powers between executive, legislature and judiciary. So these were the 2 main philosophers.
Uh, what era would you call the golden era in Indian history, and why?
So the Gupta period is often referred by historians as the golden age of Indian history because of, once again, of getting of integrated empire, and second, the development which it had done in the science and technology. Then literature, Sanskrit literature, it was a peak of Sanskrit literature of ancient India, and there were many other things like resurgence of Brahmanism and the decline of Buddhism, which led to the historians call it a golden age of.
Why should decline of Buddhism be part of the golden era?
So because in the ancient India, Brahmanism was a main focal point of every state. They legitimized the Brahmins for their own benefits. Therefore, it was the main focal point of every ruler of that time, sir.
Was there a difference between the Varna and the caste?
So Varna emerged first, then intermixing of Varnas through intervarna marriages. It led to the emergence of the different castes.
Any other factor apart from marriages?
So there was a proliferation of caste, the emergence of new occupations like kayasthas.
Occupation.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Why is Rakhi Garhi famous for? Rakhi Garhi.
Sir, Rakhi Ghadi is situated in Haryana. It is one of the largest Harappan settlement, and recently there has been research going on it. Archaeological evidence has indicated that Aryan invasion theory has been refuted by the Rakhi Ghadi findings, and it is said that the people belonging to the Rakhi Ghadi, their DNA matches the today's people's DNA, and it has connection with the earlier DNA of Rakhi Ghadi, sir. So basically, it gives an evidence of refuting the Aryan invasion theory, which has been popularized by the Mortimer Wheeler, sir.
Yeah, but Rakhi Garhi, is that based on historical or on books, on written evidences, or on C14 datings, or what is it that has led to all these findings?
So the archaeological evidence which
Archaeological.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Why is the Chera dynasty of Sangam age famous for?
So Chera dynasty was on the state present day Kerala. It was famous for its trade with the Roman Empire and the other Southeast Asian nations. It was a hilly that kingdom, and it has significant relations with the other two dynasties of the South India like Pandyas and Cholas. There was a constant conflict as well between the three dynasties of South India, sir.
Coming to your state, what has your state recently done? I mean, something which has caught the imagination of the country.
Sir, implemented the Uniform Civil Code, the first state after independence which implemented it.
But is there any other state which had it earlier, prior to independence?
So Goa has the Portuguese Civil Code.
Yeah. All the best. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Romit. What is the meaning of Romit? The word Romit.
Sir, it is mainly associated with the goddess Lakshmi.
And who had given you this name?
Yes, sir.
Who had given you this name?
Sir, my mother.
Okay. Romit, you had applied for CDS.
Yes, sir.
So what happened?
Sir, my SSB is on 31st March. This 31st March to 4 April.
No, you applied and you cleared it, is it?
Yes, I cleared the written examination.
Okay, when was that?
Sir, in September.
This is the first attempt?
Sir, I have given in my last year of college without much preparation. That was my first attempt. This was second attempt.
This time you cleared.
Yes, sir.
And where are you going for SSB?
Sir, it is in Prayagraj.
Prayagraj. Okay. And where is that? Next week?
Yes, sir.
Is it clashing with your IAS interview?
No, sir. It is in 31st March and interviews in 8 April.
8th April.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you had any coaching on SSB?
No, sir. Not.
You never thought of it?
Sir, I have a medical condition which will make me medically unfit in medical exam. So I am not
what
sure
kind of
that I will
medical
clear
condition
it.
is this?
Yes, sir.
What?
Sir, skin condition, psoriasis.
There is sweating of. Achha, psoriasis.
Psoriasis, yes, sir.
So then why are you appearing for SSB?
Sir, I have not decided yet I will appear or not.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Personally speaking, if you ask me, I would recommend you to appear for SSB now that you've done your UPSC exam, written exam, and cleared CDS. You must appear for SSB. That's my advice. Choice is yours.
Yes, sir.
Because this will give you satisfaction of those 5 days you'll never forget in your life.
Yes, sir.
But he's got a medical condition, no?
No, जाके pass तो हो जाए.
Medical will be last.
Medical will be after.
After.
But you are certain not to get through that, no?
Yes, sir.
हाँ. But there is no preparation required for that. So he can just walk in and give the interview. Okay, I'll leave the choice to you. So what is your hobby?
Sir, watching web series, playing cricket.
When we say hobbies, is there an element of creativity and talent in that? When you indulge into a hobby, why do you indulge into a hobby?
So to become stress free whenever we feel something.
So that is anything else also can be done. Hobby. What is hobby?
So which make feel us good.
So that is passing time.
So everything cannot make us feel good. Certain things make us feel good, sir. For example, if I play other than cricket, I may not feel that good while I playing cricket.
In your own time, you could see the definition of a hobby
Yes, sir.
after this. Okay. So web series is your hobby now, let's say.
Yes.
So what kind of web series you prefer to see?
So mainly the thriller genre.
Any example that you can give now?
So the Railwayman, which I seen recently.
Railwayman.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what did you learn from that?
Sir, the leadership in the crisis of the station master of Bhopal Junction and the courage of conviction he did, which inspired me a lot through that web series, sir.
So how will you apply in your life?
So whenever such a crisis happens in my life, I will apply it. There will be always a certain element of courage of conviction whenever such situation arises in front of me. I will not run away from any crisis.
Okay. Recently, Sela Tunnel was inaugurated.
Yes, sir.
Tell me something about Sela Pass, why the name Sela, and some facts about it, and how will it be of significance to us strategically?
Sela Tunnel is now inaugurated in Arunachal Pradesh. It will connect the Tejpur of Assam and the Tawang area of Arunachal Pradesh, which will give a strategic edge over the border LAC of China. It is longest bidirectional tunnel in such an altitude. It will lead to the easier movement of our troops through the hilly areas of that place. It will also bring development in the border areas, which we are seeing the large scale migration, outward migration. It is being said that the border area people are ears and eyes of army. Therefore, it is a good step which will not only strategically very important but socially and economically very viable project, sir.
Why name Sela?
Sir, I am not aware of.
Okay. And what is the altitude of Sela Pass?
Sir, around 1800 meter.
1800.
Sir, I am not sure of exact.
Okay. Okay. 1800 meters will be how many feet?
Sir, I am not sure.
Only meters into feet, how much?
Sir.
For ease of calculation, let's say 1 meter equal to 1 yard. For ease of calculation. So how many feet? 18,000 into 3.
56.
5,400. Huh?
54.
Okay. Recently, Ramdev has been in news with regard to Supreme Court directions.
Yes, sir.
So what is that all about?
Sir, the misleading ads which Patanjali do to garner the customers. That is the reason why Ramdev has been summoned by the court.
So misleading is one. What else?
Sir, I am aware of that only, sir. Misleading ads.
Claiming some
Magical remedies. That it has violated the Drugs and Magic Remedies Act of 1954.
Okay, what else? One more.
Sir, I am
Okay.
not aware.
Let's put it like this. It's alright to say, I am good. But it is not good to say, he is not good. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So my medicine is good, his is bad. Is that some connotation of that type?
Sir, I am not aware of it.
So why SC has to intervene?
So because the Ramdev Baba and his MD is not personally visiting the courts even after the so-called notice given by the courts. That's why the court has ordered the personal appearances of Ramdev Baba in the court.
Okay, we still call him Baba. Okay, right. Coming back to the same one, China is claiming Arunachal Pradesh as his area.
Yes, sir.
Okay, how will Sela help? Sela Tunnel.
So it will increase our claim on that land that we have built it and it is our territory. Second, it will also lead to the increased movement of troops in the border areas which was until now very difficult because of the geography of that pass.
Okay. Recently, a selection committee had selected two ECs, election commissioners.
Yes, sir.
There is a little raw on that, and there is case in the SC. What is it all about?
So government has selected the two election commissioners because there was going to be announcement of the poll dates. Therefore, government was in the rush, and in the meantime, there was cases in the Supreme Court that there should be a due process which should keep executive away from the selection process of election commissioners. The committee which selected the election commissioners have the Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition, and the Cabinet Minister.
Who is that cabinet minister now in this case?
Sir, I am not aware.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's proceed. Huh?
Sir, so the petitioners challenge that it is a 2-1 in favor of the ruling party.
So that means it's a walkover match. There is no match.
Yes, sir.
It's already decided.
Yes, sir. It is the petitioners' challenge to the
Okay.
Supreme Court.
Okay. So that means it's 2:1.
Yes, sir.
And 2 is always a winner over 1.
Yes, sir.
So whatever I decide, I take.
Yes, sir.
So what is the need for opposition leader then?
So it is basically the petitioners' challenge. Sir,
No, even the reality is that it is so. The 2:1. But then why do we need opposition leader? Why that formality? You
sir,
just
to have a say in the election process.
no, what will he say? It will be vetoed.
So he can oppose. He can.
He has given a
give
note
dissent.
of dissent.
So he has not given dissent against the selection of election commissioners. He has given that certain details of the new election commissioner has been not been told to him. He has not challenged the capabilities of that two election commissioners.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what dissent has he given?
So he has said that the details about new election commissioners was not told to him. The means the qualifications.
So that means he cannot even comment because he doesn't know the details. The list has been given to him. 6 people's list was given to him just a few hours or minutes before the committee had to meet.
So it is the law which need to be certain voice should give voice to the opposition parties as well to have a fair and free elections.
In your opinion,
Yes, sir.
whatever be the situation on ground, in your opinion, what will that voice do? He doesn't have the veto power. Does he have the veto power?
Sorry.
Leader of opposition, does he have the veto power?
No, sir.
So whatever is selected, whoever.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, as an independent person, with your opinion, be about to become a civil servant, tell me what is the need for, my question is, what is the need for an opposition leader?
To make government accountable through the public, through the debates and the discussions in the parliament, to have an opposition to the government, established government.
In selection committee, what is the need for opposition leader?
So
Okay.
to give voice to every parties.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Romit,
Yes, sir.
why Uttarakhand is called to be a Devbhumi?
Sir, it is because there were many rishis, munis, which did the tapasya in the forest of Uttarakhand. There are many temples like the Char Dham, which is situated in Uttarakhand. Around 1000 to 2000 temples are present there still now. That's why it is called the Devbhumi, where the god resided earlier and is residing right now, sir.
Bageshwar is also famous now these days. Why it is in the news?
So one reason is the cupcoat model of school, where 41 children from a single class has been selected for the Sainik School of Ghodakal. That's why it is in the Bageshwar district.
What is Panch Kakar in Sikhism?
So the 5 Ks which were established by the Guru Gobind Singh in 1699, it stands for the Kesh, Kada, then Kangha, Kacha and Kripan.
What is that? Why that Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur is famous in Sikh community? What is his role?
So Guru Tegh Bahadur directly confronted the mighty Mughal Empire in the form of Aurangzeb, and in the meanwhile, he tried to militarize the Sikhs in opposition to the Mughals, which were not doing very good things to the non-Muslims communities, and he was executed by the Aurangzeb when he refused to convert into Islam, sir.
You played volleyball. Suppose if the score is equal, who will win the match in volleyball?
So it will be a deuce. It will go 2 points later.
2 points later.
Yes.
Okay. And it will be a continuous one.
Yes, sir.
Fine. You also played cricket, means apart from your volleyball.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you are a secretary, youth affairs and sports.
Yes, sir.
How can you improve that result of the players so that India can win the medal in the Olympic?
So to provide them sufficient infrastructure and training, and second, the continuous exposure to the different parts of the world in the form of various leagues and the matches, which I will give them that exposure to participate in the various events worldwide, not just in the international matches, but the leagues which happens around the regions and the world, which gives them exposure, will help them in gaining the medals.
What is generic drug?
Sir, after a patent expires, then the manufacturers can make the same drug without paying any, without in the same chemical formula, with the same chemical formula, but without being patented. It is a generic drug. It is much more cheaper than the branded drug because of the mass production of it.
In service preferences, you have kept that foreign service at number 6.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Sir, because I will get IFS if I keep it in the second preference. If I keep in the third or fourth, definitely I will not be getting it because of the cadres allocations, and I want to keep IPS as second, therefore I kept IFS in sixth, sir.
Rewriting of history. Do you agree that this is the right kind of approach towards history has been already written?
Sir, history is not a static subject, it is dynamic in nature. It evolves over a period of a time. History needs to be rewritten because history is something which is written by the victors. There is a quote of Chinua Achebe that until the lions have their own historians, history of hunt will always glorify the hunter. So therefore, with the changing time, when the things changes, the need changes, and the new findings we have in the form of archaeological findings, we have to rewrite the history to correct the history.
So earlier history that has been written is you can say that is not appropriate.
So there is always a bias. It is not fully incorrect, but there are certain elements which was written in the bias of some people, and therefore these needs to be corrected in order to have a more objective history.
Now these days what NCERT has removed the chapters related to Mughal. Do you think that entire approximately around 200 years of the Indian history was totally means removed from that NCERT book? It is the right kind of approach?
So I won't say that entire period should be removed. There should have been some chapters on the Mughals because they were an important part of medieval Indian history. But the share of other dynasties should have been equal rather than just eliminating the Mughals. There should be equal share of every dynasties present there. For example, Vijayanagar Empire has not been taught much in the history books of medieval India, but it played a very important role in the history. Therefore, giving one chapter of Mughals and one chapter of Vijayanagar Empire would have been a great step, sir.
My last question, what is OTT platform?
Sir, it stands for over the top platform, which does not follow the traditional means of televisions. They are over internet, and a streaming platform is there to stream their services.
What are the rules and regulations for OTT platform? Is there any kind of guideline given by the government?
So government has introduced the IT rules 2021, where 3-tier regulatory provisions has been done and digital media ethics code has been given. Basically, it is still now in the self-regulation phase of OTT. Not much regulation is done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll just be pointing out some areas where you could have done better or which will fetch you better marks. Okay. To my questions, I'll begin with golden era in Indian history. You missed out a very important component why it was categorized as golden, that is architecture.
Yes.
While mentioning, maybe you forgot, that doesn't matter. I'm just saying that keep it in mind.
Yes, sir.
And how to do it, it's just a symptomatic, just one question I have picked out. But ideally, any question that comes to you, first let it sink in your mind as to what are the components you are going to highlight. Then only you will bring out the best. Now, like I pointed out, architect, it shouldn't have been missed out. That is one of the more. So it's not a, I mean, you would have got a better mark if you had mentioned this. So keep that in mind, that when a question comes to you, you first evolve an answer in your mind before you actually start answering. Okay, then you will not miss out on anything. Then when you wished us, you came in and you wished all of us individually. That's to be, rather than that, I would suggest that you just wish the chair, and to others just a polite nod. That will be good enough. Okay. In the demolition in Kathgodam, you said morning hours, all that. It is actually technically in the law, it says after sunset. It says sunset. It has to be completed before sunset. Okay. So it is not morning, evening, anything. Sunset is the technical word that is used in the law. Okay. So all demolition, all arrests under the law have to be made before sunset. Halting, yes, I found in some questions you were halting. You knew the answers, but you halted. Somewhere you faulted also. Again, the same thing that I told you at the beginning, that you let the first question come to you, sink it in, let it sink in your mind, revolve, evolve, and then you roll out, so that there will be no halting in the once you start. Just these technical things. Now, election commissioner. A question was put to you by the honorable member. Why an opposition leader has been kept there? It is all now executive dominated and all that. See, ideally, 3 persons are there. Why should you presume that the government will be prejudiced or biased? After all, a cabinet minister he is a minister in the council of in the union council. Why should you presume that he'll be there just at the bidding of the prime minister? Let's presume that all will be guided by the rule of law. ठीक है ना? So no negative showings in your answers. ठीक है? 3 people are there, all in their own right, in their own might. They are all eminent people. The prime minister is there, opposition leader is there, another cabinet minister is there. If there is something going wrong, the cabinet minister also will say, no, I don't agree with this. I mean, हम क्यों प्रिज्यूम करें कि वो गलत करेगा या पीएम के साथ ही बोल देगा कुछ गलत उसको ओवररूल करेगा. So always be, this is a very tricky question. That in these situations you should always avoid going on the, I mean, against the government in a way. ठीक है ना? So 3 people have been put there, 2:1, so that if one person tends to go wrong, the other person will correct him. बस यही है. Not belonging to opposition, not belonging to the second, third. So there is ethics involved, there is rule of law है, सब कुछ है उसके साथ में. कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर आफ्टर ऑल यार वहां तक पहुंचा है वो आदमी. 8 लाख 7 लाख लोगों ने इसको चुन करके एमपी बनाया. फिर उसके बाद he's been appointed by the president. Nothing against him, everything is going good for him. So he's there to protect the rule of law. ठीक है. Lastly, Ramdev Baba. See, you did come out later on in a better, your response was better, but ideally what you should have said was, see, the contempt is of an order of the court. Contempt arises, that word arises from the defiance of the court, willful disobedience of the court order. ठीक है ना? So आपको जब पूछा गया कि क्या ये हुआ, तो वो advertisement ये वो नहीं. You have to say that it was a willful disobeying of the court's order. That is how contempt arises. Civil contempt यही है, criminal contempt भी यही है. ठीक है ना? So ये सब words, this is what is going to fetch you marks over and above the others. ये सब small words. ठीक है ना? If you had just said that this was because it was in contempt, he went in contempt, he rose in contempt, he as observed by the court, because he defied a court order, willful defiance of the court order. Okay, very good. Otherwise, you were very good, very composed, and very well answered.
Romit, well done. You are well attired, good, and well informed, I would say, and pretty logical. And like the honorable member has said about this EC question, it's a very delicate question. Don't go against the government. I was just trying to push you, because the logic given by the government is, by the Tushar Mehta, is that independence of election commission does not arise from the presence of judicial member in selection committee. So it is not a must that if the judicial member is present over there, then our election commissioner will be
Independent.
This is the key point that you must remember. Nevertheless, you can always give a point both ways and then stand by this, reinforce this point. Give an independent view as well if you wish, but don't go against the government. No criticism. All right. And that is why show courage of conviction, connecting with the series that you've been seeing. Right. Otherwise, damn good. Very nice.
My advice to you, a little bit eye movement should be there. If suppose I'll ask the question, you have to note the other members also. And but while I was asking the question about Devbhoomi, you have said about the Char Dham. You have to take the name of that all dhams there, and rest of the things are good. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.